Hi, this is Nereida with Achieve 3000. In this video, we're going to cover how we can monitor student completion of their SmartENS initial assessment or their SmartENS back to school assessment. As a reminder, students who've never used SmartENS in the past, so most likely are pre-K and kinder students, they will take that initial assessment. That assessment is trying to target which skills students have not quite learned just yet. So really looking for skill gaps. If students have used SmartENS in the past, so most likely our first and second grade students, they will take a back to school assessment. This assessment is really looking at all the work they've done in the past to see if they're ready to continue where they left off, if they need to be accelerated to go to a more complex skill, or if they need some additional remediation to maybe review some skills they have learned in the past. Regardless if they are taking the initial or back to school assessment, we can monitor through our teacher dashboard or just as a visual check through the student screens. So let's start with the SmartENS teacher dashboard. Upon logging in, you will always be directed to your overview tab. If you scroll down, you're going to see a similar screen to mine. If you are administering the initial assessment for students, so most likely my pre-K and kindergarten teachers, you will see your screen full of just blank little squares and question marks, just like this last student here. This is just letting you know that the student has not yet logged in. Notice the last login here. They have not logged in. They have not completed the assessment. As soon as students complete the assessment, you will start seeing bars like these here. Still have question marks, but you will start seeing some numbers. You'll see where they placed in SmartENS, what their goal is for the end of the year, which is this last tick mark. And as they progress, you will see this little arrow moving across the screen. Do not be alarmed if you do not see colors, as you will not see colors until students complete a full lesson in SmartENS. For teachers who have students taking the back to school assessments or for our returning students, this screen is not as helpful because even as students have not logged in quite yet, you will see these bars and question marks. This is just showing you the progress or where they left off the previous year. So for returning students, we will need to go pull a report. So I'm going to go ahead and come to the top. To see the back to school assessment report, you want to come over to your class reports. You will come down to assessment and progress reports. And towards the bottom, you will see how did my students perform on the back to school assessment. Now you can bookmark any of our reports. Notice that when I came to the top, it's right here. You can add a quick link and it'll appear at the top so you don't have to search for it again. But when you click on this report, how did my students perform on the back to school assessment? You will see this here. Okay. If you have multiple classes, you're more than welcome to click on the drop down to switch between classes. But you will see your class list. It'll let you know the lesson they last started. That's last year. You will see where they left off. As soon as they complete the back to school assessment, you will see that here in this middle column. It'll let you know when they're done. So none of my students are done with the back to school assessment quite yet. And then you will see the results. This results column is where you want to focus in to see if your students have remediated, resumed where they left off, or accelerated in their SmartENS plan. Then it'll let you know what lesson they will be currently working on. I hope this is helpful, at least on the teacher view, but I do want to